I watched a lot of Mimica videos. I even made one myself. But researching the Mimica for this video is the first time I realised there was actually lore for it. Who knew? It's not just some creepy dweller number 53. Basically, the story is that one day, Steve was just gathering logs, minding his own business. But deep within the earth, something ancient had awakened. An alien parasite from the caves. It found him. It infected him. At first, it was subtle, just a twitch, a spasm. But over the following days, Steve's body began to change. His limbs stretched, unnaturally long, unnervingly thin, his face twisted, warped into a grotesque mockery of what it once was, hollow eye sockets, an inhuman smile, wide and unblinking. The parasite had fused with Steve's nervous system, hijacked his brain, but it didn't kill him. No, it kept him conscious, trapped, screaming on the inside. Then, it made him do the unthinkable. He slaughtered Alex, and then his beloved pet, severing his last ties to humanity. Now he wanders, in pain, in silence, waiting. If he sees a player, the parasite takes over. It stalks, it hunts, it mimics voices, friends, mobs, even you. It lures you in, and it never lets go. They call it the Mimica. Good stuff, right, but you probably don't want to die to the Mimica, so this is how to beat it. And if you find a creepier mod, comment it below and I'll play it next. Now, enjoy the video. The first problem you'll encounter is the Mimica's health. I actually tried to show you how many hearts the Mimica has by trapping it and then beating it up, but obviously didn't want that to happen. The Mimica only has 25 less hearts than the actual Ender Dragon, but the problem is, the Mimica doesn't have crystals to help knock down its health, so we'll have to use other tactics. These I'll tell you later on, but first, we have to cover what we're dealing with. The second strength of the Mimica is strength, actually. The Mimica can do 4 hearts per hit, which obliterates your entire health bar in about 2.5 hits, as you can see from this epically slowed down clip. However, wearing iron armor halves the amount of damage he does by half, so he only does 2 hearts of damage per hit instead of 4. This means you survive for about 5 seconds longer if you manage to get armor. The third strength is that it is always watching. This thing can spawn anywhere, not just caves, unfortunately. Your house, your mine, on a mountain, behind you. There is no safe space, not even emotionally. The last strength is interesting because it only applies to some versions of the Mimica. Some versions have like an arrow repelling force field. As you can see, I shot an arrow at the Mimica and it just disappeared. So I guess it'd be more like an arrow absorbing force field. Now that we've finished all the strengths, we can quickly cover its weaknesses. Number 1 being flammable. The number 1 trick of burning it with fire works for the Mimica too. But if you don't have lava or are caught off guard, don't worry, there's other ways to kill it. The second weakness is the Mimica can't move if you're looking at it, as long as it's in stalk mode. If it's running towards you and going blah, 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 then you should probably start running too. However, if it's going and kind of scribbling its backwards, then that usually means it's in stalk mode, and if you look away, it will run towards you. But if you stay looking at it, you'll just kind of end up having a staring contest. But then at least you can prepare for your imminent death. The third weakness is that it likes to be ominous. The Mimica usually plays sounds before it spawns, so you can panic while waiting for it to kill you. I'll play these sounds for you now. The last weakness is that it has weak kneecaps. For some reason, the only hitbox the Mimica has is on its kneecaps, so get swinging. It can also dodge really fast, so a sword and shield is probably best. Now we know the ins and outs of the Mimica, we can get onto the tactics of how to kill it. The first tactic is fire, or lava, basically anything flammable. The problem is the Mimica tends to avoid things that it thinks are traps, like lava pits for example, so you have to kind of trick it into being on fire. Because the Mimica runs so fast, you kind of end up setting fire to everything, including yourself. So the best tactic I'd recommend is just pouring lava buckets on it. The second tactic is webs. Now you'd think this would work because, webs slow things down, so it would slow the Mimica down. You could beat it up, but no, because its hitbox is in its knees, and its knees are stuck in the webs. However, this tactic could be good if you pour lava on it from above while it's stuck in the cobwebs, but I wouldn't recommend it as one of the top tactics. The next tactic is water. Now this one is good if you don't really want to fight the Mimica at the moment, because if you get in a boat and row into the ocean, then it can't follow you and it despawns. But I'd only recommend this for deep water because otherwise it can follow you across rivers. At this point you may be asking, what about a shield? You can block the hits, smack it with your sword and win. But unfortunately not, because the Mimica moves so fast, it just kind of goes around the back of your shield. However, there is a way to beat the Mimica. Speaking of another way to kill the Mimica, potions come in very handy, especially potions of slowness and weakness. Unfortunately, they're not enough by themselves to kill the Mimica, but now we're going to get onto the ultimate tactic. Combining everything together. Okay, it's not actually that, but it might as well be. This is the fusion of every single tactic. Okay, slowness, weakness, poison. Oh, the pig! Okay, lava. Come on! And that is how you kill the Mimica. Now go, my disciples, and take him down.